Hey everyone, welcome to the Bad Players Pod. I'm Dave, the D in Bad Players. I'd like to welcome to the first episode of podcast. We're here to talk about Lurkana, our experiences within our own communities, and what we overall think about the meta. Anything that we feel like is worth talking about. Um, we live in Singapore. We have a nice community here. Locals regularly, about 15 to up to 30 people sometimes. It's pretty fun. With me, I have Brandon and Andrew. Brandon, you want to go first? Tell us a little about yourself.
Yeah, sure. Hi, guys. Thanks for joining us. I'm Brandon. I'm the B in the Bad Players. We decided to make this podcast hopefully as an outlet for new players and competitive experienced players to all discuss decks and Lorcana and hopefully learn something, both us and the viewers. Andrew, take it away.
Hi, my name is Andrew, and I'm just because I like to play weird decks, so I want to share my love of weird decks so you can try them out as well.
Yes, Andrew never likes to play meta as much as possible. So if we're talking about deck lists, let's get into it. The first deck list I think we'll talk about today is what I played at uh, locals this past Saturday, just yesterday, at time of recording. I tried Blurple. So one thing we do in Singapore is we started doing 5 to 8. Out here in Singapore, it's hard to get set 1 through 4. Was the first year when Lorcana was out. There was only one store that did it. That was Hideout, where we all play and where we met, became friends. It was hard to get just products. So when they announced rotation, Lorcana got very popular very quickly here, and 5 through 8 became a very standard format. So one thing that we tried to do at Hideout this weekend was do a 5 to 8 plus format. And what that is it's just standard 5 to 8 sets and anything that was announced as a reprint. As of the time of the tournament, almost all the reprint cards were out. So we figured we would try to uh, have a fun Saturday. And we ended up having 20 people show up and play this format, which I thought was pretty cool. This is what I played. Um, I went 3-0, 2-0 every round. So I didn't drop a game, even in testing against Brandon. You were playing Turnidogs. I lost one game,
Yes,
and that was
we
because I
played a
didn't.
best of three.
We played a best of 3. I lost one game, and I didn't have a one drop. And I think learning to this, I definitely think I would need more one drops. And there's a few other cards I think I would take out. Like I put in the Queen, that'll probably get replaced by Dumbo. I put in Donald Duck because I wanted to go right from 5 to 7 for the Hades plays, and I never needed it. I would always just play 5. I'd play another draw card or something on 4, and then or on 6, and just play Hades on 7, or I'll hold the Hades until I need an answer.
You wanna tell us a bit about Mufasa? What's he doing there?
It was just, I have an enchanted one, so I wanted to put it in. Not gonna lie, there's no reason other than that. I
Yeah.
probably would take it out. I also could only find 3 else's. That's why the hypnotic strengths were pretty good. I only played against one vanish deck, but it removed the Yago, which would have killed my genie. So um, yeah, that's pretty much why it was there. But mainly, I think that the highlight cards, obviously Hades coming back is huge for this deck. This is basically an infinity deck. Into the Unknown is, I actually thought it was kind of underwhelming. I know that is crazy to say because the card is really, really good, but you play it so later on in the game that when you do draw it in your early turns, it ends up just being ink, which sucks because you really want to make sure that you have your removal for late game as you start to get grindy. That's what the deck does. It just grinds for value. It was very hard. Um, but Brandon, when you played against the deck, what did you think was your issues? What was hard to
Yeah,
beat
well,
about it?
I was on Churna Dogs. It was just basically exert as fast as you can, get to 20 lore as fast as you can. A bunch of very good aggro cards with very strong discard recursion with the lady card, the 5 cost lady card. Um, while the deck does get to 20 sometimes against other decks, I think Blurple is just so strong at exerting ready characters, which is something the Chernodog deck uh, um, is very weak against. So stuff like your Elsas, both the big Elsa and the smaller Elsa are very strong. And we even have new cards that we will talk about, namely the Ursula, that help boost this Blurple deck. But all in all, I think you're right. I don't think Donald Duck is needed in this deck, the 5-cost one. Just simply because you're almost always going to play Belle or Elsa. And I don't think I ever saw you even need to play Yelena as well, just because the cards Blurple are just so beefy. As you can tell, you kind of just ramp early into these very big, strong characters that help you overwhelm the board. And most of the time, when you play them, they do something for you. So I think that's what Blurple is so good at, just being able to impact the board when you play them, rather than just playing something and not doing anything.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. As much as Yelena has to stay for those chances that you're gonna miss ramp, she's just a good 3-drop, especially if you have a 1-drop on board. But
Yeah.
I realistically, I'm mulliganing all 7 if I don't see a T-bow or a sail. I care more about hitting the ramp on 2, getting to 4 ink faster than anything else. But Yelena kind of stays in for now. I kind of do wish she was a crab, but quest for 2, still not bad. That's
Yeah,
what it
yeah.
is.
So any new players wanting to get into blue, pretty much your important cards are your ramp cards, because that's what blue is so good at. It's ramping and getting a lot of resources on your inkwell. So stuff like Tipo and Sail is almost always what you want to hit on turn 2 for a blue deck.
Yes, and it's just having ramp is how you win the games. It's just very straightforward. Very
Yeah, and as
straightforward.
Dave said, if you have to mulligan all 7 cards for the ramp, just do it.
Regrets. And then one thing to always make sure is you're trying to always outplay your opponent with these grindy decks. Lurkana is kind of interesting in the sense that it operates like other TCGs in the sense where uh, you have to maintain your resources, you maintain your removal, uh, but it's just a simplified game at all times. And one thing that I really learned that I taught my Baja Blast opponent round 3 locals is that whoever Hades first loses. That's just kind of how it is. If you have a Hades and you play it, if it's not removing something that's worthy of a Hades removal, it's going to get Hades. And then it just starts Hades Wars. And if you play a one first, it means you're not playing one last. And you just aren't going to be able to recover. But with that all being said, let's talk about a few new cards that we could add into this deck, mainly Dumbo and Ursula. Uh, right now, I think Dumbo is a 4 of, uninkable, essentially quest 1 and draw a card. Um, that's crazy. Tell me what you think.
Andrew, you gonna start first?
Yeah, I think the gaining 1 lore is great because they could have made it so it was a sacrifice between like questing and drawing a card, because even pay 1 draw a card is like super good value, but they didn't even take away the lore. And on top of that, you can now get your other characters to draw your card as well. So I think Dumbo is insane.
But is Dumbo gonna be a play over Genie? You know,
Why
he
not
doesn't he
both?
doesn't really do anything himself upon play. I don't think he's a turn 4 play, to be honest. But I would still put Genie over Dumbo.
I probably, if I have both in hand, you're right. I'm probably going to play a Genie first. I probably want that when you play effect. I agree with that. But having Dumbo as an option feels pretty good. Uh, I think playing Elsa on 5, playing a Dumbo on 6, and instead of questing with the evasive Elsa, just essentially tapping it to draw a card and quest for 1, I think is also a really, really good tempo play. Most of the time, you're going to clear everything with Elsa on 5, and it's just going to quest the following turn. At least Dumbo gives it the draw power, and you're just going to maintain resources that way. Do you
Do you think
think
this Dumbo is gonna make a lot of like purple decks turn into evasive kind of decks where the other color that you're pairing with purple or amethyst, you're just looking for as many evasives to jam into the deck and just trying to gain value off of this Dumbo?
there was a remember when we tested with that um, Ruby Amethyst deck that was like purely evasives and you just couldn't do anything when we were playing the Infinity practice?
Yeah,
I think something
the
like
magnetic problem.
this could fit in there well. Um, you, I don't even know. It's just being able to just essentially quest with anything to draw a card as well just feels insane, especially in a game where resources are so important and draw is so limited. And with cards with uh, action cards in red, where you're just essentially minusing cards from your hand, being able to replenish any play for essentially one mana is really good, really really good.
Yeah, I think it's especially like good in Blurple because with with the Sapphire cards and always having like an extra ink laying around, you can always find like one extra ink to just draw one card. Even if you're not getting all your characters to draw you a card, just getting that extra one card because you have one ink extra is super crazy.
I agree. I think the card is the best card being printed and it has an awesome enchanted. I think this is top five card all time, as I like to say.
Have I got all time over
Top five
Elsa?
card all time.
I don't know about that.
I
Elsa
don't know
might
if
be
it's top
going.
five card all time.
Elsa might be going up the list.
I wouldn't even put Dumbo top five card in Blurple.
You're
Yeah, I don't know.
crazy.
Yep, I got a Genie, Elsa, Hades, Tipo, and Sale. Top five cards.
Yeah, I'm more on this with Brandon, but I do think it's a good card.
I do. All right, so let's jump to the other card, the Ursula. The more I think about this, the more I kind of don't like it. I need someone to tell me I'm wrong, please.
Am I frozen on your screen?
Yeah, you froze. Let me,
I'm frozen. Okay, that's fine. I'll keep talking.
okay.
So
Good.
Ursula, 5 cost 3/4. When you play this character, exert chosen opposing ready character, then you may play a song cost equal or less than to the exerted character's cost for free.
Hold on. I'm gonna interrupt you. Name a song that's not Into the Unknown that gets value.
You don't have
One
to play
jump.
this in Blurple. You don't have to play this in Blurple.
One
In
jump.
Blurple, you have one jump.
You can say this is a Blurple card, but you don't have to play it in Blurple.
That is true.
And I know for a
Red-
fact that the phrase "for free" is gonna catch a lot of people's eyes.
I love playing things for free.
I love playing this for free.
Love playing things for free. Now, do you think this would be better in like a Ruby Amethyst deck?
But what songs are you singing?
Just Pirate's Life,
King,
B King.
King got reprint.
Yeah, but
King.
then you would have okay. B King is fair, but if you want to sing Pirate's Life, you'd need to tap down a 6 cost, which aren't super common.
Yeah,
True.
yeah, I totally agree. Like, imagine you're playing against Amber Steel aggro. The highest cost card is what, Rhino, 4 cost.
Yeah.
4. Well, I feel like is your win condition against Amber Steel playing RA still Shark? I guess so. But it's just a good effect to tap down a card anyway. I mean, you can play this. You can play Shark on 6. Shark lives. You play Ursula. Following turn, sing something if you have something. Gain the lore. Challenge with Shark. Add an action back. Play another one if you can. I don't know. In my head, that sounds pretty good.
Yeah, I'm on the fence. We'll have to see how it plays out.
Yeah. I think
I agree. I think at the end of the day, this Ursula requires, if you want to get the full benefit, requires you to commit 2 cards because you're getting the Ursula and then the song you're gonna play. So
yeah,
it's gonna be a 2 for something. So you have to think about the song that you're gonna pair it with.
And not having friends around anymore to essentially get back the two cards that you just played, I'm hesitant to put faith in it that much.
Yeah.
But I think,
But I think B King is the best bet
yeah,
in a RA build.
yeah,
If you're able to like recycle the B King using Shark and this Ursula plays it for free, you can get a lot of value.
yep, that's true. Yeah, tap, play B King. Your opponent chooses attack with Shark, add B King back, play B King again,
No,
and you
but
just
okay. So the Ursula's gonna exert something for you.
yeah,
You can't exert and then delay the song. You have to play the song immediately.
yeah. Exert,
Oh,
play B King.
they could sacrifice the
They
exerted card,
could
and then
sure.
you don't do the shark thing, right? So
Well,
it's
obviously,
a bit of like you have to get the board narrow enough to where B King becomes impactful, but all of this comes with testing. So we'll find
it's
out.
true. Yeah, we'll definitely have to try this
Yeah,
because
no funny.
it feels good, but it feels
Because
better
because
in a
if
non-Blurple deck.
yeah, because if you tap down something they want, like they might be more inclined to sacrifice one of their smaller characters. But then, I mean, obviously they will be taking into account the shark swinging. So
Awesome. All right, well, let's jump to what Andrew played for our 5 to 8 plus on Saturday. You've been on this archetype for a minute, right?
yeah, I started playing allies when Hideout started their 5 to 8, and then now that we have new cards to play, the deck seems better. The only problem is Under the Sea God is getting reprinted, and I found out real quickly how much damage Under the Sea can do to this deck. So this isn't the exact deck I was playing. So I went 2-1 and I lost to um, Sapphire Emerald
Hmm.
because that deck when once it hits a certain point, they just steamroll you with a bunch of big characters. But I mean, I didn't lose 2-0. I got one game off, but it was still a pretty tough matchup, especially with such big characters. But this is a updated version. The main line in the deck is you either want to ramp on turn 2 or you play Jasmine on turn 2. So the turn 1 Jasmine into the shift Jasmine is crazy in this deck because right now there isn't much removal that can deal with um the 4-drop Jasmine, who's a 2/5 with shift 2. And the deck is packed with allies, so you get a hit off of her quest almost every single time she quests. So most games where I managed to play her on turn 2, I would draw at least 3 cards off of her. And it wasn't necessarily easy for the opponents to get rid of it because it's a 2/5.
True.
And so just drawing so many cards gives you so many options in terms of ink and what you want to play following the you know the lines. So
Now,
the cards that I
go ahead, go ahead.
sorry, what?
No, go ahead, go ahead.
So the cards that I did change out was I cut the number of Jasmine 5-drops because they're really powerful when you find a gap in the game to play them, but they're a bit slow. So the 5-drop Jasmine allows you to draw um, cards equal to the number of other allies you're playing. You have on the battlefield or on the table, but the problem is there's almost no time to play her most of the time. So it's only in games where your opponent is going really slow where you can play her down. But when you get her down, she's super strong.
If she
The
can,
good part is Tipo.
if she can stick to
Tipo,
quest, I feel like it's insane.
yeah, if she gets just one quest off, you normally get to draw 3 cards or more. The good part is you have Tipo, so if you you can always get rid of her.
Hmm.
And Doc, you can also get rid of her.
Now, do you
But
think
yeah,
Tinkerbell coming back helped? Did you use 4 Tinkerbells on Saturday?
yeah, I was running 4 of the big ones, but and she's good. I mean, she's always good. The only issue is she comes down a bit slow sometimes, which is why I also added the 3-drop Tinkerbell, which helps with cycling. For example, if you have too many docks in your hand, it's good to have the 3-drop Tinkerbell. And 3-drop Tinkerbell always threatens the turn 4 big Tinkerbell, so it's a good card.
Do you feel like you could play this deck without ramp? Like, do you really think it needs the T-bow and the sail? Do you think you could do this without sail? Just run T-bow because it's an ally?
So, because I've been playing Blue Steel for a while, I find decks with Dock to be more effective when you have the ramp on 2 because um like dumping your hand quicker kind of puts you at an advantage when you're going towards a dock turn.
Yeah, that makes sense. Now, do you, when you look at like mulligans and how you find your openings, do you lean into um, do you lean into ramp if you have dock, but lean into a shift jasmine if you don't?
So my priority is always Shift Jasmine,
Okay, it's good
just
to know.
because of how busted I think she is. Just
That's
because
true.
in set 5 to 9 the removal doesn't isn't there compared to when there are singers and songs were a thing. Like now you're 2-5 Jasmine, if you get her down on turn 2, especially if you're on the play, will take your opponent forever to get rid of. So Jasmine on 2 is always my priority, but if I miss Jasmine 2, I always try to get um, ramp on 2
Okay.
and then play it
Now,
from there. So
no, go ahead. Now,
so because the deck is pretty low to the ground, like ramp on 2, even if you have a 3-drop, you normally can play a 3-drop and a 1-drop, or like your fire the cannons and stuff like that.
Okay.
So could someone trying to play allies deck shift into a very more aggro approach? I noticed you have Mr. Arrow, and I suppose Shift Jasmine being a 2/5 is quite aggressive. You have a very big body on turn 2. Could you play this in a like without ramp and just make it a more aggressive build without the 7 cost cards?
Yeah, I've tried a version of this deck which was more aggressive, but I think it's a bit it's also matchup dependent. So against the slower decks, going the more aggressive route is a pretty good idea, but it's tough. So, you know, I think I don't know the perfect version of this deck. I've just been messing around with it, but I think it's a lot of fun and it's pretty cheap. So anyone who wants to try it, I would recommend you should try
Yeah,
it.
very good budget build.
So yeah, it's true, right? That you were saying before we started that deck's like what, $40?
No, it's like 70, I think, which I think is pretty good.
I mean, and that's all Bagheera, right?
And
Um,
Tinkerbell. Just Tinkerbell and Bagheera, I think.
Braden just sent this over. There's the new Nala. It's a 2-drop, 0/2 quest for 2. While this character has no damage, he gets +1 lore and gains resist +1. Do you think that that's a good ad? Do you think you're going to try to slip that in, or is your unequal count getting too high?
I think right now it's only at 11, so it's definitely possible to play her. But
Yeah.
I'm not sure what I think so far.
It might be more of an Amber Steel card.
Yeah,
I just thought that it has an ally tag, so
it's
allies
definitely
being allies.
possible. If you can definitely go and take this deck the aggressive route. So we'll test it on, see how it goes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
and I don't know. I think that card looks really good.
Looks cool.
Basically
Yeah.
a
It's
0/2
interesting,
quest
yeah.
for 3.
And then you can add Baymax to remove damage.
Look at you cooking
You're
already.
removing 1 at most. By the time you get damage on, she's gone.
Yeah, that's true.
Unfortunately.
Now, the one glaring list that I'm going to spoil it. I won't spoil it for the viewers, but we've had discussions about this for a long time. There is no desperate plan in this deck. Why?
So previously I ran 2 Desperate Plans, and
And
they are good when you need them. But the problem is I often found myself having both a dock and a desperate plan in hand, and because dock is uninkable and desperate plan's uninkable, and desperate plan only works if you have no cards in your hand.
mhm.
So like depending on my ink count, I would play dock but not trigger it, or just so I could play the desperate plan to get an additional card. But it just always felt a bit janky.
Yeah,
So I don't think it's a bad card, and I think maybe if you wanted to, you could run one. You could take out the Beyond the Horizon and run 1 or 2, but I just never really found it to be super effective. I like Beyond the Horizon more,
good. Noted. Cool. All
especially because your Vincenzo and Arthur can sing it or something.
right. Vincenzo's such a good card, but I think one thing Desperate Plan really feels it is just a good card. I don't want to take anything away from it, but it definitely was overhyped at time of drop. I think it's really good at
Yeah,
keeping Amber Steel decks going, but I'm not gonna play it in Green Steel. I'm not gonna play it in this Blue Steel version. Like I'm not unless I'm playing pure aggro. It's just never really worth it. So I agree. I think cutting it's always a good option. And then let's jump to Brandon's deck of the week. Now,
Well,
full transparency,
hi.
Brandon. Yeah, I was gonna say, is this your deck?
No, this is a list from a fellow community member, very well known. The Singapore community will know him as Uncle E. Melvin. He's playing what's called Rock Mid Range, a green steel good cards pile. I think the aim of the deck here is just out tempoing the opponent with good cards, from what I'm seeing. I have a few questions I could probably ask him later on, but first impressions from both of you guys. This list is kind of funky, so tell us what do you like about it? What do you think is not great?
Any deck that runs Tinkerbell, in my opinion, is a good card. Any deck that runs Lewis, it looks like just like value dot deck. You know,
Yeah, that's basically it. He did mention to me though that this deck was trying to take advantage of the fact that the current format that we were playing in, set 5 to 8 plus, which includes the reprints, does not have any board wipe or any prominent board wipe. I think the only one is Under the Sea, but he did tell me that the format not having board wipes had a big influence on uh, the cards being played here. So I can see stuff like the Forecast Tinkerbell, which hardly saw play when Genie came about. I think that was set 4.
mm-hmm.
You basically just ran 4 Genie, 4 Rabbit, or something of that combination.
Yeah,
And that Tinkerbell got reprinted. So obviously cards like Tinkerbell, Lawrence. Lawrence is a good card. Stitch as well. These cards take advantage of the fact that there's no board wipe, so you can kind of stick a card down for a few turns without having to worry that your whole board is just going to get obliterated.
I love the Calhoun into Tinkerbell to give Calhoun evasive. That feels good.
yeah.
The
Uh, so one thing that he also mentioned was he wanted to jam the most powerful threats and steal removal. Basically, you're trying to get the best top deck possible, which is quite ironic because I saw him play this against the same opponent that Andrew played against, the green blue deck, the
Mm.
tempo
Yeah.
one with a lot of bounce. And
Mm-hmm.
Melvin, who was playing this, had 2 Desperate Plans stuck in hand.
Ah, did he go?
So
Did he
I'll
go
just,
3-0 on Saturday?
I believe he went 2-1.
2-1.
Yeah, but I think now that so I want to talk a little bit about Namari. What do you guys think about
So
this
good.
5-cost Namari now that she's called like the Beast replacement, I guess, because the Sad Beast, which is a 5-cost steel card, an insane draw engine for the time that Infinity was around. What do you think about Namari? Is she gonna be a full-on replacement, or are we just like not gonna see much of her as we expect in these steel decks?
Andrew, you play Steel. You tell us.
I like the card. I think she gets really powerful really quickly.
Literally, yeah.
Yeah. And with the desperate plans, the deck works with her because you're able to dig to find the card that replenishes your hand. So I really like her, but I think uh, it's dependent on the deck you're playing. So I don't think she just goes into any steel deck, but I do like the card.
Yeah, I liked her when we tried to play her with Ruby, and we were gaining 5 lore off Maximus.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
That
managed to get a
was
10-5 Namari.
10-5 Namari,
Well,
gain
she was
5 at
way
the end of
bigger,
your
but
turn. She was like 14 attack. Um, yeah, I really like the card. Card looks cool too. Um,
Hmm.
I the only issue I look at this deck, Melvin's deck, is I kind of don't like Robin Hood as much as that seems silly. Um, Shifting Robin Hood off the 2 Robin Hood feels icky. Not having the 1 drop, and maybe that's just we were blessed for so long having a 1 drop Robin Hood that shifting on and having a deck that doesn't shift on a 1 drop, despite having shift characters. I just don't like when that happens.
I'm kind of glad
yeah,
they didn't reprint the 1 drop though,
No, I
because
agree.
I like the
I'm looking
steel 2 drop and I like the green 2 drop. So I think it gives those cards a chance to shine because when the 1 drop was around, that's all anyone played. So
Yeah, vanilla 2-2.
yeah.
Isn't there? I feel like you could run the shift Captain Hook in here too, just for fun. The new one.
John Silver's a pirate, isn't he?
I think John Silver's a pirate. Hold on, I have that. Check it real quick.
Yeah, he is.
Once
I was also
during a
going to bring
turn,
up the
whenever
point
opposing
on
characters damage or pirate characters +2, attack and risk +2. It's pretty good.
oh, nice.
There you go.
No.
Well, I was just going to bring up the point on Your Welcome. Your Welcome is a very fun card to me. It's a 4-cost song that shuffles chosen character, item, or location into chosen player's deck, and they draw 2 cards. So this can't possibly be a draw mechanic for yourself. I assume you want to play this on opponents' characters. So what do you guys think about playing Your Welcome without cards like Clarabelle or maybe even Bend to My Will?
I love Clarabelle. It's one of my favorite cards. So having your welcome in there and not seeing Clarabelle hurts a little bit. But to Melvin's point, and like the reason why he built the deck is just value and advantage. And if you're confident enough in your deck and your ability to play a deck that you just straight don't care if your opponent draws 2 cards, that's
The tempo.
Yeah, like that's impressive. Like, okay, I don't care that you drew 2 cards. I'm still gonna win. I still can have a
Yeah,
7-5 Namari on board that fix my hand to pick exactly what I need. You're not gonna be able to quest because I have John Silver. I'm gonna make sure you can't quest because I have Tinkerbell. Like that's good. We should just fix up these 3 ofs. I don't like 3 ofs. 4 ofs.
yeah. Dave does not like anything less than the number 4.
I like running 15 cards in my deck. 4 ofs all of them. It's my favorite thing.
Boo the 4-ofs. Play some 1-ofs.
I will say with Namari and Mulan being able to just cycle through, I think that uh, you have the ability to run, 3 ofs and 2 ofs and 1 ofs more than you would normally.
Yeah,
Things like
for
that.
sure.
That's true.
And then there's the one card not in this deck that I guess you think should be in it.
I just think it's just one of the good cards, right?
I think this card's insane.
It's a 4/4
There's no
quest for 3, and it has
Bagheera.
an insane banish ability.
Yeah,
So when you're playing cards like Lewis and John Silver that give cards reckless, I mean, why not, right? They throw your stuff. They throw their big character into Maui, and you deal 2 damage to everything. It sounds great. I know Maui doesn't do anything upon play, so he's a bit slow. You wait 1 turn for it. But
Yeah, but
4/4
the
quest
quest
for
for 3.
3, yeah, insane banish ability. If you're playing a more aggressive build, I can see Maui shining in that. Um, there was another card that I wanted to bring up, but you guys can say your piece on Maui if you think he's gonna see more play in rotation, or is he just gonna remain a backseat now that we have Namaris and Tinkerbells especially?
I think card's awesome. With that being said, though, 6 mana 4/4 that's a high cost. Um, but
Yeah, I wish he was a 5/4.
5/4 or just a 5 cost 4/4, but then your
I
5
guess he
drop
Oh,
gets
gets better.
flooded.
yeah.
I would say the being able. Melvin may try this if he hears this, but I would say playing like Bagheera on 5, baiting out like a Hades, and then dropping Maui right after. Like, as a Blurple player, that's just gonna make me angry. So that feels good to be able to do something like that.
Yeah, I agree. This is something again. You're gonna have to test it out, but we'll let the community see what they can cook up with our suggestion.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, we'll see. All right, guys. So think that was pretty good. For anyone, feel free to leave feedback, comments. If you guys want us to talk about a deck list, feel free to leave a link in the comments. For anyone who knows us, feel free to come and let us know feedback in person at locals over at Hideout, or message us in any of the WhatsApp groups. But yeah, any closing comments from the B or the A?
Uh,
I'm just excited for the new set
yeah,
because I think rotation is going to be so much more fun.
Yeah, it was uh, me and Andrew after trivia that one day at Lavi Taco, we like walked back to the train station and we are like, they need to do rotation, but then also print all of the cool cards. And then like 4 weeks later, it was like exactly what we said, which I thought was kind of funny. But yeah, it was like everything that we wanted. So um, I'm just hyped that it's here, right? So I moved to Singapore 2 years ago, right after Lorcana dropped, and I got a ton of set one cards back in the States. So when I moved here, I didn't. It was different. The game's not here. So being it officially here, we get the promos, we get set champs, we have a DLC here in November, multiple DLCs in the surrounding countries, which are cheaper and shorter to get to than if you wanted to travel through the states. Um, it's awesome. So awesome to be a part of this community and being here.
yeah,
Anything?
exciting times for the Lacana scene in Singapore. The community is growing so much so fast. I'm seeing so many new faces at locals, and I just think with the release of Fabled and the upcoming tournament in November, the DLC, it's going to be
Yep.
huge. Going to see a lot of new people jumping into the game.
Yeah, I agree. Well, thanks everyone for watching. As always, leave like, comments. Don't forget to subscribe. brand new channel, hoping to provide some gameplay videos, weekly or bi-weekly podcast episodes, just providing content for as fun as we can make it. So thanks for tuning in.